What if I told you that America's biggest threat isn't from outside our borders, but from within?
Cities across the United States remain in a state of high tension tonight as the country braces itself for another wave of protests.
It's not a foreign power or an economic collapse. It's us. The division between red and blue, left and right, isn't just politics anymore. It's personal. Families are splitting, friendships are ending, and neighborhoods feel like battlegrounds. We're more connected than ever, but somehow more divided than we've ever been. Why does it feel like we're living in two completely different Americas? How did we get here? And is there a way back? Stick with me, because today we're unpacking the story of political polarization in the United States. And trust me, it's a story you need to hear. So, what exactly is political polarization? At its core, it's the process of people's political beliefs moving to the extremes, leaving little room for moderation or compromise. But it's more than just disagreements about policies. It's about identity. Politics today is deeply personal. It shapes who we are, the news we consume, and even the friends we choose to keep. Picture two neighbors. One with a Save the Planet sign in their yard, the other with a Protect Jobs sign.
They took our jobs! They took your jobs! They took your jobs! They took your jobs!
They might share the same street, but they live in entirely different worlds. That's polarization, a divide not just in ideas but in values and priorities. How did we get here? Believe it or not, America wasn't always this divided. In the past, political parties fiercely debated issues, but often found common ground to move the country forward. So, what changed? The story begins in the 1980s with the rise of cable news and later, social media. These platforms turned political debates into echo chambers, where people only hear viewpoints they already agree with. Then came partisan gerrymandering, where voting districts were redrawn to favor one party, pushing politicians to cater to their bases instead of reaching across the aisle. Cultural shifts also played a role. Hot-button issues like immigration, race, and climate change became deeply tied to party identity, creating deeper divides. And let's not forget the internet, a tool that connects us, but also amplifies conflict, spreading outrage faster than ever before. The effects of polarization are everywhere. In Congress, compromise has become a rarity, leading to gridlock on critical issues. In communities, it creates mistrust and animosity, turning neighbors into enemies. Families are being torn apart by political disagreements, and friendships are ending over heated arguments. On the global stage, a divided America struggles to lead with a unified voice, weakening its position in the world. Even on a personal level, the constant stress of political conflict takes a toll on mental health, leaving many feeling anxious and helpless. The great American experiment, built on unity and diversity, is showing cracks. But all is not lost. Despite the growing divide, there are still moments of unity. Bipartisan efforts on issues like disaster relief or supporting veterans show that we can come together when it truly matters. Research also suggests that dialogue can help bridge the gap. When people from opposing sides sit down and have honest conversations, they often discover they share more common ground than they thought. Rebuilding trust won't happen overnight, but it starts with one step: listening. By seeing each other as people instead of political enemies, we can begin to mend the divide. America's strength has always come from its ability to rise above its differences and find common purpose. Political polarization is a challenge, but it's not insurmountable. It starts with us, by choosing to have conversations, by seeking to understand instead of argue, and by remembering that we're all on the same team. The question isn't whether we can overcome this divide, but whether we choose to try. Share this video, start a conversation, and let's make unity the next great American achievement. Together, we can turn this challenge into an opportunity to build a stronger, more connected nation.